Hello, my name is Roshan, and today I'll be presenting the easy level questions and also the medium level questions. So for the easy level questions, I have to identify and correct the data type for age and attendance rate. So as you can see from age, I changed the data set into a number data set, and for attendance rate, I changed the attendance rate from a general data set to a number data set. So on towards the second question, which is to remove any duplicate records if there is any in the data set. Unfortunately, in this data set, there is no duplicate records, therefore, the second question will be nullified. And the third question will be find and correct the formatting issues in the phone number column. So as you can see from the phone number column, it previously shown into a one jumbled up number like this. However, in the clean data set, I've actually coded into a equal text table 1 at phone with the format of 000-000-000. Therefore, I can get the actual mobile phone number format. So on towards the medium level questions, I have to convert the registration date serial number into a proper date format. So in the registration date, regardless to the previous data set and the current data, the clean data set, I changed the general data set into a date data set. Therefore, the registration date is now currently in a date format data set. Next will be replacing the missing gender values based on the typical names. So unfortunately, in this data set, there is no names given to us, only a student ID will be given to us. However, the data set that shows the student ID without the gender will become equals NA open close bracket, which shows that there is no gender given within that particular student ID or that particular data set. So now next will be identify the rows where midterm score and or final score is missing and input values based on the average of the respective column. So when it comes to the midterm scores, I've actually used a formula where I use the equal average table 1 and then open bracket equals to midterm score, and then when it comes to the final score, I did the same equation as well, where I equal average table 1 and into a final score. So that's how I identify the rows of the midterm score and the final score. So next will be reformat the email column to ensure all emails are lowercase. So as you can see on the email columns, in our previous data set, certain email columns wasn't given to us. Therefore, I have actually redid the data set into a lowercase format for the email itself. So the 8th question will be correct inconsistent entries in club membership and standardize them. So when it comes to the club membership, in our previous data set, it also shows the same values as well. However, certain parts in the club membership did not have detail. Therefore, it is also used as equals NA open close bracket. Therefore, it shows that that particular student does not have a club membership within any clubs. However, students who do not have a club membership are labeled as none. So that's how we can correct the inconsistent entries in the club membership and standardize them. So next, the last question will be format GPA to be numeric and handle non-numeric entries like NA. So when it comes to the GPA, so as you can see on the previous data set, certain GPAs were not listed. Therefore, I used the same formula as well, equal NA open close bracket. Therefore, that the data set, therefore that particular student who has not given their GPA shows that their results are nullified. And next, that their GPA have previously in the previous data set was on a general format. Therefore, I have actually changed the general format into a numerical format. So as you can see here, these are all my answers for the particular data set. So next I'll be giving my next team member to present this.
Hello, my name is Faith. student ID 241UG 2412L, and I will be showcasing how I did the heart level questions for this quiz. So for the first question, let's go to the overall grade. So at the overall grade, firstly I cleaned up the data set. So for the blank cells, I put equals NA brackets, and then it will give me this. So it won't affect how it will transfer to the next cell. So I created another column, and then this is the equation that I used. It's a nesting formula, I believe. So it's if equals if brackets or, so that we can have multiple conditions. And then it's the overall grade. I put D equals A, and then I continue on with the next, like the ABCs. And then if the value is true, I put pass, and if it's false, I put fail. And that's how I got this answer. Moving on to the data validation question for the age. First, we go to age, and then we go to data, and then we go to data tools, and then we go for data validation. And then for the settings, you put whole number, and then for the data, you put between, and then you put 17 to 35 as your minimum and maximum. And then I just deleted the columns with I cleaned up the columns, the ones with NaN. So that's how we have the data set now. And then next we have question 12. For this question, we have to go to overall grade. And then what I did was, where was it? I go to insert, and then originally I put the 2D bar, but it gave me this. So instead of doing that, I just put recommended charts, and then I added it to my sheets, and then it gave me this, the overall grade bar chart along with everything else. Yes. And then for question 13, unfortunately, there's something wrong with my Excel, so I'm unable to do it properly, but I can still showcase how you are supposed to do it for your GPA. So for this, you highlight your GPA column, and then you go to condition, you go to home, and then you find the conditional formatting here. Highlight cell rules, and then you put highlight cell rules, and then you go to less than, and then 2.5, and then supposedly you get the highlighted versions. It will highlight the GPAs that is less than 2.5. But yeah, there seems to be something wrong with my Excel. And then for question 14, we have to standardize the dormitory block. So I've already standardized the blocks here. So what I did was I highlighted this, then I used the find and replace option. And then firstly, I cleaned the cells, like the blank cells, with the equals NA function. And then after that, I just typed out each one by one, and then I just cleaned it up like this. And I did this for everything, one by one. And then for finally for the vaccinated part, I basically did the same thing as the dormitory. So I used the find and replace option, and I just like I find each of the yes and no's, and then I just replace it with the yes and no values. Thank you. That's all for me.